All right, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Wieners. I'm your host, Carson Sneller, and this is my co-host, Spencer Fenton-Wells.
Co-host Carson.
Oh, yeah.
Host
You're
Spencer.
right. You're right. Co-host Carson.
Got to put him in his place.
Yep. So, this week, big stuff is happening. NCAA March Madness going on, men and women's, and a little bit, actually, more than a little bit, a lot going down in the NFL.
A lot of players in new places.
Free agency. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So I think to start off, we should talk about a little bit of the bracket for the men's.
March Madness. Shout out the women.
Yeah.
But
you guys have a bad weight room, but that's okay. It's better now.
Can you believe that?
I could not believe that.
It's like...
Especially during Women's History Month. Now, for all of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, the men had like probably $1 million weight room set up. Just huge, ginormous, like a whole basically court worth of just exercise equipment. And then the women's...
Which is what you need.
Yeah.
Like they needed that.
Oh, yeah. Especially because they're in a bubble format. All the teams are in one area, Indianapolis. They're all playing on a couple different courts. So they need that space.
Correct.
The women's had this giant arena, like basically arena looking thing. And they had one dumbbell rack and about 5 yoga mats.
It's terrible, but it's like funny that that even happened. You know,
yeah.
Obviously, we don't support that, but it's just kind of funny.
It's very humorous, especially when you look at it and like the NCAA tried to cover their own butt by saying, "Oh, we didn't have the space," and then the girl who called them out rotates the camera and shows this giant area just full of like 3 chairs spaced out, and so now they finally have a good weight room. It's still not as good as the guys, but it's decent. It's definitely.
I feel like it probably rivals the guys. It's obviously smaller.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like size wise, they have the same equipment.
I don't know who was in charge of the NCAA tournament for the women and looked at that and thought it was a good idea.
I have no idea. Maybe it was the Burger King guy. Posted that women belong in the kitchen.
Shout out to the UK Burger King.
Saying women belong in the kitchen.
Probably one of the best marketing moves we've ever seen.
100%.
I don't think you can beat that.
No. But all right, anyways, to the bracket now. This has been, in my opinion, the craziest March Madness I have ever experienced.
Touché.
It has been absolutely insane. The upsets have been crazy. There are only 2 1 seeds left. So we're going to run through it real quick and say the winners of the first round.
And just down here in the Midwest real quick.
Yeah.
We have a 8 seed, a 12 seed, and an 11 seed. And almost a 10 seed if they didn't choke the game away to Houston.
Yeah.
So the highest seed in that bracket would have been an 8 seed.
Yep. Which would have been absolutely insane. I mean, we have Loyola, who I'm now voting for Loyola. We have Oregon State.
I'm all in the Sister Jean camp.
Oh yeah, you can't go against God. Are you kidding me? God's on their side.
I mean, hey, Baylor won, Loyola won, Oral won. I'm sure there's some Christian there.
We all love some good Oral, honestly.
We love March.
We love
Oral.
For all of you guys,
fantastic.
Oral Roberts is the name of a school. They upset the number 2 seed Ohio State, which I was kind of sad about. Ohio State, Big Ten.
No,
I'm not a fan, but I'm a fan of the Big Ten.
You can cheer Big Ten.
Yeah.
You can't cheer for Ohio State.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was sad to see a Big Ten team, but if they're gonna lose, you got to lose to Oral.
Oh yeah, like if I was an Ohio State player, I'd be like, respect. I'm not even mad.
No. And then the next team, they played Florida, who is a 7 seed.
I know.
And they beat them again.
They pulled it out.
Oral is the new Cinderella.
Wow. And I mean, if we want to keep it going, we had, unfortunately, Moorhead lost.
Oh, Moorhead State. I mean, could you imagine a Final Four?
It could have happened.
Moorhead versus Oral. I can just imagine what the college kids would say.
That's what the tournament's all about.
Yep.
I'm kind of bummed out we didn't see it, but do you think Oral Roberts can keep it going against Arkansas?
I definitely think they can. I think Arkansas is a pretty formidable opponent, but I think the way they have all the momentum going and everybody backing them, everyone is voting for Oral now.
Yeah.
Just for simply the meme of it, because they're all like, "Oh, your name is funny." So I think with that momentum, they can definitely go against Arkansas and put up a good fight.
I wish this is another good game. I know we've said it a lot, but imagine if there were fans in the there's a limited amount of fans, but imagine if it was packed. The chants going on there.
Oh, I agree.
We want Oral. We want Oral. I mean, I just can't imagine.
I would love it. It would be amazing.
And I think having the fans there would almost cement it as a possibility for them to pull another upset.
I agree. And I think that goes kind of against them at the same time, because it's kind of an interesting thought to think about what would happen if they did have fans. Would they have been able to pull up the upset? Because I think players can definitely react to the fans. Now, I only played on the high school level, but even when you're playing at the high school level, having the fans in attendance cheering, it can like sway the momentum just like that.
Right.
Even if your team's
and your
not
fans were probably like cows and
Yeah.
people riding
Yep.
tractors and horses.
We actually had a day where it was donkey basketball. We would take donkeys into the school, into the gym.
donkeys up there?
Yep. We would have, it was donkey basketball.
I wasn't making this up.
I know. We had it, and they would ride on the donkeys with a basketball and play a basketball game. I kid you not.
That's like the Special Olympics, but instead of wheelchairs, it's donkeys.
Yep. It's wild. But yeah,
that's something I wish I could see.
I never actually went to one. Unfortunately, I always had basketball tournaments. They were always on the weekend, and we always had basketball tournaments. So I never got to see a single one.
I thought you were supposed to take the donkey to the basketball tournament.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Showing up with a donkey. But anyways, honestly, I think if the fans were in attendance, it definitely would make a huge difference. I don't know if half the teams that have lost would have lost.
Yeah, I think that the upsets were probably a little bit more, because obviously if there were a full amount of fans, Ohio State is going to have way more fans there than Oral Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
So you're probably right about that. I could get along with that.
Even the Wisconsin game, granted, I'm pretty bitter about that because, Wisconsin, our team. But even them, they went on a run and then didn't score for like 5 minutes. They were down by 7 and didn't score for 5 minutes. Even if you have fans in there, maybe the cheering would have helped give somebody some energy and they would have scored.
That was an unfortunate game,
I agree.
I think we finished with 11 turnovers, maybe a little more than that, but we had like 10 of them in the first half. And that's what did us in.
Oh, yeah. Our problem was our layups, too.
Oh, yeah.
We missed like every layup. We only
It
made
looked like
couple.
a double rim out there.
Yeah.
Everything was clanking around, bouncing off.
Backyard basketball.
I'm still sad about that game.
Same, especially seeing all the seniors crying. Granted, they have another year of eligibility, but some of them might not even want to.
Inside scoop. I don't think any of them are coming back. I think because Trice Audi, he tweeted, made me sad, but he was just like, he just thanked Badger Nation for the last 5 years and said he didn't like how it ended, but he's looking forward to the next chapter of his life. So, that's kind of sad. Obviously. But I mean, I think he would be like 26 if he came back next year.
And that would be crazy because that would have been his 6th season.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like, what classes do you even take? 6 years out of college?
I think him and Reavers both already have two degrees.
Really?
So they could have come back and like got a 3rd degree.
That's fair.
Which, I mean,
isn't a bad idea.
Depending on what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm already a senior and I'm 22, so I can't imagine in 4 years still being in.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. I mean, that's what my brother is going to go through, Ethan. He's going to be a freshman, and he's 23.
Shout out to Ethan, but he went military, served overseas for
our
us.
Country, yep. Man. Both my brothers are right now. Yeah, both at basic.
And he is soon, so give it up for the
No. We'll see. Got to make it through basic first. Anyway.
And he's blushing over here. Give it up for the troops. Give it up for the troops.
No. This is not about me. This started at Ethan and Gavin.
And he's got to make sure his ears still works.
Yeah,
he's got
half
one bad ear.
Yeah, I'm pretty much half deaf,
All right.
No biggie. We're going to start with the South and the Midwest region. And we're going to start with the second round and then the Sweet 16, just say the winner. So in the second round, we had Baylor get past Hartford, and they played Wisconsin, and Baylor unfortunately won. Sad day.
Yep.
And then we had...
They were way too athletic for Wisconsin, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's probably
our
the biggest downfall.
And our layups.
Not just Wisconsin. It's kind of looking like this across the whole Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
But every single team, Oregon was way more athletic than Iowa.
Yeah.
Baylor was way more athletic than Wisconsin. Oral was way more athletic than Ohio State. They were very flexible and whatnot.
Take some athleticism.
And then Illinois, they couldn't even compete with Loyola.
They got their asses handed to them.
It's just like the Big Ten. It's just a bunch of Midwest farm boys out there trying to play basketball.
For real. I was talking with my dad about this, and I was talking also with you earlier, but the thing about the Big Ten that I feel like they were immensely overrated.
Well,
I think they had some key wins against really good teams to start the season off, so they got really, really high ranked, and then they just played each other throughout the season, just beating up on each other, which kept them at such high ranks because everyone's like, oh, a 3 seed lost to a 4 seed, whatever.
Yeah. So
I think that just happened, and then once they got to the tournament and were exposed to the other champions of their own conference, I think they were just completely outmatched.
That is probably what happened. Well, we were talking about the records the other day, but I believe it was Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, and Illinois were all like in the top 6.
Yeah.
And they all had at least 6 losses. Mm-hmm. So they're just going off like, oh, well, the other 5 losses of those teams came against other Big Ten teams. Yeah. They were good losses.
Where if it was any other year and it was any other opponent that they lost to, they would have been maybe in the teens, maybe.
They would have been, closer to 10 than they were to 5.
I think Illinois would have been the only true one that would have been a top 5 team.
They had like 7 losses, though.
That is true. But they had some really good wins because they played a lot of good teams outside of our Big Ten.
Right, but so did other schools. So it goes like...
True.
Were they actually good wins? Like, they beat Wisconsin. It went down as a good win, but was it actually?
Yeah, that's actually really true.
It sucks, but...
Yeah, I agree. But there's nothing we can do now except for cry about it and complain. Moving on. So we had Villanova, and they still have to play North Texas, which North Texas...
That's another upset. A 13 seed?
Beating a 4 seed.
Jeez.
Purdue, another Big Ten school. Big surprise there. And then in the bottom of that Southern bracket, we have Texas Tech.
Matt McClung.
Yep. Who played Arkansas. And then, of course, Arkansas won. I mean, they were... I don't think that was too big. I think people expected that.
That was a pretty good game, though.
Yeah. We had Florida versus Oral, and then Oral came and just gave them the show.
And that was a good game, too. Like Oral had to make a comeback at the end. Ended up winning by 3.
Yep.
Florida couldn't tie the game.
Nope. That was actually a really good game. So then moving into the Midwest region, we had Illinois play Loyola. And Loyola, and that wasn't really an upset, but a lot of people did actually pick Georgia Tech to move past them. But anyways, Loyola and Illinois then played, and Loyola actually upset Illinois, which was crazy. But in my opinion...
And it wasn't even close.
No, it was just a beat down the whole game. And in my opinion, I think Loyola is the most underseeded team right now in the tournament because they actually had a better record than Illinois. Granted,
the record, that's a mute point.
They didn't really play good teams because
Illinois played that same record, they would have been like 35-0.
True, but Loyola is just phenomenal. No, their big men were going crazy against theirs.
I certainly agree with you that Loyola was...
Mm-hmm. And I see your point. I agree with your point.
They probably should have been... I mean, they're a small school and they don't play in a good conference, so they're never going to be like a top 4 seed.
No.
But they probably should have been like a 5 or 6.
I would have said 5 or 6 as well. So then moving on down, we've got Oregon State, which was another huge upset. The 12 seed taking out a 5 seed. And then we had Oklahoma. So Oregon State versus Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Oregon State actually won.
Another upset.
Yep. Another 12 seed beating a 4 seed this time. So they're just moving through the ranks. So now we're going to have Oregon State, a 12 seed, taking on Loyola, an 8 seed.
For the Elite 8.
Yeah, for the Elite 8.
That's pretty cool.
Wild.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we got the guy that kind of, wait a second.
What?
We got to go back to the mullet man of Baylor.
I can't. We forgot this. So
I want to smack the shit out of him.
Yeah, you take it away. You're very passionate about this.
Well, I mean, I'm not even that passionate about it, but you need to cut your hair. That's not a basketball haircut. You need to get out of here.
I had to cut my hair for basketball.
We were about roasting you every single time you touched the ball.
Yep.
You must have had the game of your life.
He did. He averaged, I don't know his name. We'd have to pull up his name, but I don't want to waste.
Mullet Man.
Yeah, I'm not wasting time on actually finding his name.
Well, his name is Mullet Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
legal and everything. I checked it out.
Okay, yeah. Sounds right. Not going to fact check that. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, he looks like a hillbilly. He's got a mullet. He's got a weird, facial hair, and he's scrawny. He looks like a backwaters, West Virginia hillbilly type guy.
He does.
Which I'm only upset. If you're listening to this, we apologize. We're just upset because you absolutely destroyed Wisconsin.
Well, we both came from country-ish places, so we can make fun of them,
That's
too.
True. We can.
But he did look like they just went out to a field somewhere and said, hey, you want to come play basketball for us?
For real. And he had the absolute game of his life. He was averaging 8 points all season. He went off for, 20-something?
No, I think he only had 15.
He only had 15?
I'm pretty sure he only had 15. But
either way, he doubled his
some
average.
of those moves he was pulling out there. There was one time he hit him with the little hezzy.
Yeah.
Drove in there, hit the Kobe turnaround.
Yeah. And his
splash.
His 3-point shot was wet.
Yeah, and then after he tried to hit the Kobe move, which did work, he started doing some nonsense out there.
Yeah.
And he definitely started looking bad. But there were a couple times he was trying to shoot like Curry, not having his feet set, and the ball definitely didn't go in.
No, but there were times that he was shooting lights out from.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, I think he got a little too confident in himself.
Oh, yeah.
With that hair. Because there was one time he he drove in the lane, and I think he tried to hit like a fast spin move, and his hair didn't even know which direction he was going. It was just flying all over the place. I think it probably blinded him.
Honestly,
and then he just airballed the layup.
If I were a Wisconsin player, I would have yanked on it. Running for a layup, just yank on his hair, pull him back. His fault.
See if it's a wig. It could have been a wig.
Pulls it all off.
But that's just but we've seen some crazy like hairdos and mustaches come out of here. I don't know.
True.
We just watched the
Zags.
Gonzaga game before this.
Yup. And then there's even a guy in Loyola. Their big man has the handlebar mustache. If you pull up their game,
he didn't. He's got a little stash. It's not a handlebar.
No,
but the
it's
Loyola
thick. It's
guy.
dark. Pull him up. Pull him up right now.
You're talking about the guy with little we were telling him he should shave his head and get a mohawk.
Maybe. I think it's the same guy. Look him up.
Well, you don't even know who you're talking about.
I do know who I'm talking about. I don't know his top hair. I just know his facial hair. I'm not
well,
either case.
This guy has the Fu Manchu over here.
Full on.
Wow. I do support that though. I think
you should grow it out. You should get that going.
I can't do that. I can't grow a mustache.
Paint it in. Use Sharpie.
Well, I could do that.
Yeah, that would look good.
But no, I'm just gonna get the little goatee growing out.
Okay. It looks good.
See how you shaved. I'm like.
Okay, it was too long.
No, it wasn't.
I just.
Do you not want a beard? You always talk about wanting a beard, and then you had a beard. And if you would have kept letting it go, you would have actually had a beard.
I agree with what you're saying, except the left side was so much darker and thicker.
Wasn't.
It was.
But that's to you, like being
that's true.
self-critical of yourself.
That's true.
It wasn't like I'm sitting here looking at you, and it wasn't.
All right, well, I'll let it grow out again.
And no,
it
like if somebody's
grows.
over here, they can't see the other side of your face. So what does it even matter?
That is true. Well, facial hair, knock on wood, will continue to grow for me.
No,
if I go,
I don't want it to
after
anymore.
That,
because
okay.
I don't want it to anymore.
I'll just get that laser treatment. Make my face a baby face forever. Yeah. Anyways, continuing on, we were on the Midwest.
Oh, Syracuse and West Virginia.
Yeah, Syracuse and West Virginia. We had Syracuse, an 11 seed, take out a 6 seed, San Diego State, who I actually had going to the Elite Eight. I thought they were really good.
Our brackets are toast, by the way. I had Illinois winning it all. Of course, they lost.
Yep.
And
I want to venture to say this is one of the first times that there is not a single perfect bracket left on ESPN. I don't know about the other apps that make brackets, but on ESPN, there's not a single perfect bracket left after 1.5 rounds.
Well, I can guarantee you there's no perfect bracket left.
Yeah, this has been a crazy
If somebody tells you that, you know they're cap out the wazoo.
Yeah. You got to check got to go back and do the carbon dating of
cap.
Carbon date their signature, make sure it's signed at the right time. Because honestly, this year has been absolutely insane. And then
Buddy Boeheim, back to him. That's probably the only time I really know of like a coach's son working out, because he's been balling. I think he dropped like 30 in the first game, and I think he had 25 in the second, and he's shooting like 60%. 60%. He's shooting like 60%.
I'm picking up what you're dropping.
Yeah, you know.
He's looking like a top 5 pick right now.
Whoa, you're going that far.
I'm going that far.
No.
Well, look what happened to Tyler Hero. He was not even in the top 30, and then in the tournament, he went off and had a couple of games, and he got drafted 40.
I don't think it was because of the tournament.
I think his performance in the tournament
it certainly helped,
skyrocketed.
But it didn't. No, I disagree with that.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's my projection. We know
how
how the LaMelo Ball.
We don't even know how old he is.
True. But when he goes, I'm going to say he's top 5 pick. And don't bet against me, because we all know what happened.
You put another 5 on it?
Oh,
Put another 5 on it right now.
Okay.
Say top 5 pick, $5.
Yep, $5. You guys all heard it.
Easy money.
$5. When he decides to enter the draft, I don't know when that is. He will be a top 5 pick.
Well, obviously, but we're just gonna keep betting $5, and it's just gonna trade back and forth between us.
No. I'm gonna keep collecting. Okay, last time we made a bet. I was all on the LaMelo Ball train, and I was like, he's going to be a top 3 pick.
He's still going to be a bust. Look, he just got hurt. He's a bust.
And busted. You were saying, you're like, there is no way he goes top 5.
I think I went as far as saying the bet was top 5. I think I said top 10.
I know. He went number 3, and he was looking at being the rookie of the year this year until he got injured.
That is LaMelo Ball. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
I just don't like the ball part. If he wasn't attached to his dad, which I mean, I know I shouldn't
Maybe
hold
he'll
that
drop the name.
him, but that would be hilarious.
He'll be LaMelo Jordan. Go with
No, LaMelo Anthony.
Oh,
you know how funny that would be?
Melo Anthony. But he could do the uncle. Because he calls
LaMelo Jordan would be kind of cool.
Yeah, because he calls Michael Jordan Unk. Now I know why. It's because
this man thought he called him UNC.
Yeah, I thought he called him UNC because of Michael Jordan's days at UNC.
Well, yeah, but I get your theory behind it.
I argued with it, and I was wrong. I am okay with eating crow. I was wrong. Spencer is right. He was actually.
I'm always right. He's just yet to figure that out.
Yeah. But he was calling him UNC, which is Unk, because they consider it a family down there.
And he's just like a goofy personality.
Yep.
So I can't. I guess I'm starting to like his personality.
I like him. I think
it's just his family. Like his father was just so.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, would his kids be this? Like,
I don't think they would.
The way he went and hyped him up.
I think he hyped them up and that helped them.
I do too.
Especially because they got enough money then to take them all over the world. They played for the Euro League. They were able to afford all that. He was able to start his own basketball club or association.
Yeah, I guess I can't hate him too much. I was just not a fan of all the antics.
Oh, no, nobody was. Like saying he'd beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. He's an idiot. Yeah. He's an idiot, but he is smart financially and marketing-wise because he marketed their family so well.
That is true.
Even the shoes that they made.
Yeah, but have you heard any of the things that come out about it? Even Lonzo in a recent interview were like, the reason I stopped playing in them is because they were so bad.
They were terrible, but he marketed them and they sold. I think they sold out.
That's the problem with our generation, though. Mm-hmm. Just because something's expensive, people are going to go.
Yeah, I mean... Terrible. Props to them. They made their money off it. But anyways, back to the bracket. Jeez.
Shout out to Rutgers. Yep. One of the only Big Ten schools that held it together and won their first round matchup.
Yep. Rutgers beat Clemson, and then they played Houston, and
Houston was that game. I don't know.
Heartbreaking.
We were watching it together.
Yep.
And then we turned it off with like 10 minutes to go because I think Rutgers was up 13 or 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
We turned it off. We were like, well, that's a dub.
Let's go.
And the last 5 minutes of the game, Rutgers was just
choke. Must have had a little bit of that Oral Roberts in him.
That's a good one. Choking on some Roberts. Speaking of Oral Roberts, somebody called him Blowjob Bob.
Really?
And I think that's a fantastic nickname for him.
I think that is too.
I think that's
Spencer sent me a snap. He's like, "Hey, did you see Blowjob Bob?" And I was like, what is he talking about? I thought at first you were talking about some porno or something.
No.
I was like, who is he talking about? And he's like, yeah, Oral Roberts. I was like, that is the best nickname ever.
No.
Oh, I know.
I would never say that.
I know.
Getting back to that side of the bracket, the one team I wish moved on, I bet I had the upset on them just because, 5 white boys out there and they could all shoot like crazy. Colgate.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could realistically.
I'm more of a Crest guy.
Oh, I'm Crest 3D all the way. Crest 3D, best sponsor us.
Yep, please.
Best toothpaste out there.
Dude Wipes, you guys still need to sponsor us. We're still waiting on that. I get it. You guys are holding out a little bit.
Just ship some to us,
Yeah, we'll try it out. Anyways.
There's the address right there. Colgate. If we could have Oral versus Colgate in the Sweet 16.
That would have been amazing.
Talk about marketing right there.
Yeah. Oral Colgate.
I mean, imagine, first of all, Colgate, they need to change their mascot to an actual bottle of Colgate with like the bottom rolled up, like a used, and maybe the mascot can be a little bent over and crinkled.
A little crunched.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think, and yeah, they need to change the mascot.
Could you imagine that? Having a Sweet 16 of Morehead State, Oral, Roberts, and Colgate. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that this bracket has been like the takeover of religious teams and sexual reference teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Is there a correlation? I don't know.
Well, I don't think that those two things get along per se.
Nah, probably not. Anyways,
Sister Jean's definitely not a fan of Oral. I can assure you Sister Jean is cheering for Arkansas.
Oh yeah, 100%. She is looking good for 101 years old.
Can you believe that?
She is 101 years old and
no
still
disrespect
attending.
to her.
No.
I thought she was dead.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything of her.
When I was watching the game and they like put her up on the screen, I thought it was like a memory thing. It was like, and then she's sitting there in a wheelchair paying attention. Like she still gives the pregame prayer to the team.
Yeah.
Like how, if I'm 101 and still like all there, still going to NCAA tournament games, sign me up.
Oh, I agree.
I will do that right now.
Honestly, she's looking amazing. She still interacts with every single one of the players on the team, and she's at every single game.
And you know what's even more impressive?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
No. Sorry, I was just rolling.
I was just going to say, she's beat something over the last year.
What'd she beat?
Well, she didn't die from corona.
That's true.
That's pretty impressive. 101 and not being taken out.
Side. I wouldn't want to go against them. If I were Oregon State, I'd be shaking right now a little bit.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, that game's already over.
Yeah.
Loyola. It's just an interesting team.
Thinking about that Sister Jean, It's just crazy. 101 years old. Think about the things that she's seen. I told Spencer, if I'm 60 and can't get out of a wheelchair, I'm rolling myself off the bluffs.
Yeah, that was kind of a sad story. He said he's just going to get his family to go on a hike and then get somebody to wheel him over towards the edge, and then whenever they're not looking,
if I can't get quality life, if I'm stuck in a wheelchair is not there. I am a mobile guy.
I think. Well, obviously, when you're 60, like, you're not going to be out playing basketball anymore.
Well, no.
You would want to, but, like, a wheelchair is not that big of a deal.
But if I can't get out of it?
But still, it's like, at least if you can still think and be with your family.
Yeah, but if I have a wife, what am I going to do then?
She can still give you some
Oral Roberts.
Especially, I mean, if there's dentures involved.
Take out those dentures.
You never know. You never know. So, hey, all I'm saying, you don't know the possibilities of your life. And living in a wheelchair could be some of your best experiences ever. You could go skydiving and then just not open the chute or something like that.
Beg my family to let me go skydiving. Okay. All right, anyway, moving on. Yeah.
So we had Bama moving on to play Maryland. I think that game's later today. I don't think that game is quite tipped yet.
Not quite, I don't think.
You know what else likes tip?
Oral Roberts.
Hey. It's just too easy. Imagine, we were talking about this too. Imagine being like the play-by-play announcer.
Oh, yeah.
Oral coming down fast. You know.
Oh, that shot from Oral is wet.
There's just that would be so fun to be like a beat writer for them.
Oh yeah.
The jokes that you could make. Just
even a player. I would ask the coach to put on the jersey just Oral.
Like, yeah, because it's ORU right now.
Yeah.
They need to change it to Oral.
Yeah.
And who's ever running their Twitter account, fantastic.
I didn't see what they did.
They were what we said earlier. We love March.
Oh, yeah.
We love Oral. Great marketing right there. But another, the Christians of Abilene.
Yeah.
They beat Texas. That's a 14-3 upset.
I can't believe that.
There's another godly team. The Christians of Abilene.
Sister Jean.
Oh, the other funny thing about this, I saw analysis of this, but Abilene Christian is a school of like 1,000 students.
Really?
And they have a budget of like $3.1 million.
How?
Well, that's not that much for a college.
I guess, yeah.
And then Texas has, I mean, obviously, you know, Texas is huge. I think they had like $850 million budget, and they lost to a school with 1,000 students.
They don't care. Money isn't everything.
Money
doesn't impress them.
Shout out the Christians of Abilene.
Yeah.
And then we had another upset. I think it was an 11-6 UCLA over BYU.
Yep.
But now, see, they're the first godly team to lose, but they're Mormons.
Yeah, Mormons. You got those multiple wives. I mean, wouldn't mind that.
I mean, you know who else wouldn't mind that?
Oral Roberts.
And then we had the good old FSU beating, I don't know, some acronym on there, UNCGF, something along those lines. And then one team that actually surprised me a ton. I picked Georgetown for the upset.
Okay.
Because I had no clue anything about Colorado.
Yep.
But Colorado, I don't know if you watched that game. No, I watched it half asleep. Colorado looks phenomenal.
Really?
I think they could come out of there because LSU beat St. Bonovich. St. Bonovich, my apologies. I'm just Oral Roberts and Moorhead. They're just getting me all flustered over here. Michigan. You know, Michigan came out strong. I think is Michigan the only Big Ten team left?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, we got Maryland.
No, I think Maryland lost.
No, they haven't played Bama yet.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Could be an upset.
Hopefully.
But we got Michigan playing LSU later today. Mm-hmm. LSU looks good. So, you know, Michigan without their best player, who knows what's going to happen.
And before we move off of upsets, another huge one, Ohio versus Virginia.
Yes, I was just about to move up to.
Oh, okay.
I was just about to move up to there.
Stealing your fire, but
no. You know, Tony Bennett's got the Wisconsin connection.
Big fan. Dad used to go to high school or college with them. Yeah. Used to know him
somewhere around there.
Yep. So I'm a big fan of Virginia.
We were also talking about this. His style, like they did just win a national championship, but if they lose that game to Purdue, his style of play is probably starting to like, mean, they lost to the first 16 seed. Yep. They just lost it. Granted, this year's team wasn't great, but they were still a 4 seed. They shouldn't have lost.
Yeah. Well,
especially to Ohio.
They were an interesting team though, because they were 17-8 or something like that. So I don't know how they got a 4 seed.
That is true.
They had a lot of games get postponed. They couldn't even play in their tournament championship.
I was shocked they were actually allowed to play in the NCAA tournament.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
So, I don't know. That was unfortunate, but it's starting to be like, come on, Virginia.
Yeah.
You might be good at defense, but if you can't, I don't care how good at defense you play. The worst teams are still going to be able to score at least 40 points a game.
Yeah.
Which is Virginia's hardest thing is scoring 40 points a game.
I agree, which is really weird because take it 20 years ago, take any basketball 20 years ago, and it's a defensive-minded game. Mm-hmm. It is just completely polarized and flipped. Now it is all about the offense.
I think people are just getting too good. I feel like part of it, like Curry's kind of, everyone just wants to shoot threes. I mean, I play basketball with you all the time. All you want to do is shoot threes.
I can't hit them, but
never make them.
Never make them, but that's okay.
But that's besides the point.
I can dream.
We had, Oregon. So Oregon didn't even play their first round matchup.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for VCU.
Mm-hmm.
But they got to play Iowa second round.
Yep.
And I thought Iowa was a shoo-in for the Final Four.
I thought Iowa was a possible champion. With Illinois out, I thought Iowa had more of a clear path than ever. Mm-hmm. And that was just disappointing.
And so Oregon's moving on. We also had Kansas.
Oregon looked scary good.
Yeah, I feel I just don't know how.
They had that shot blocker. I don't know his name. He's their center. Not very big and bulky, but he's tall. Mm-hmm. He's got he's like a Porzingis type body type. So not lanky, but not built.
I agree.
And he was blocking everything.
Yeah, I just don't know how. Well, then because we had Kansas play Eastern Washington. And Eastern Washington had another two of those guys out there. They're like, where did they get these people from? It was two brothers. I forget their last name. I think it started with a G.
Okay.
But they looked like some cavemen. Just got them out of a cave. Really? And one went for 35, another went for 30.
Dang.
Gave them buckets. But of course, and they were beating Kansas the majority of the game. But Kansas was able to pull it out. I think they won by like 3, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch that game either.
Then we have USC moving on. Of course, Ohio over Virginia. Creighton over UCSB.
What? UCSB?
Yeah, UCSB. I don't even know what it is. Oh, Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara.
Oh, Santa Barbara. Yeah, California, Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Yep.
Creighton, Oklahoma, Gonzaga. But, Gonzaga's looking. So, out of what we've seen so far, who do you think's making it to the Final Four?
All right. I'm going to pick out of the Western region, I'm going to pick the Zags because I think they're phenomenal. And I'm actually going to pick Oregon, whatever.
But they both can't make it to the Final Four.
Oh, shoot. At first I thought you said Elite Eight. I think I'm going to pick then the Zags.
Yep.
And then out of the East region.
That one's a weird one.
Such a toss-up because, I'm going to go with you. And I didn't even really watch the game, but I'm actually going to pick Colorado.
Damn.
If they're that good.
I wanted to have Colorado.
Okay, you take Colorado because
we can have the same pick.
No. I'm actually going to pick Bama then.
Bama looked good. You know what they like down there. Or Roberts. Especially from
cousins.
First or second.
Yeah. Maybe even brothers and sisters.
Fathers and mothers. Yeah, but okay. So you got Gonzaga, Bama.
And then for my South region, I'm going to go with Oral. I'm taking Oral.
I'm hoping.
I'm going to hope for Oral, but realistically, that's not going to happen. I'm going to actually I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Okay.
And then I think...
Shout out Jalen Tate.
Yep. And
previous NKU boy. Shout out my brothers and his roommates. They all went to Northern Kentucky. Okay. They were actually well, I don't know if they were friends with Jalen Tate, but
really,
they got some pictures with him, dapping him up on the sidelines.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
That is really cool. All right, and then out of the Midwest, I'm going to go Loyola. Based on the way
I think that's actually realistic.
I think that's really realistic. So that's mine. How about yours?
I'll go Gonzaga. Okay. At first, I honestly thought, I think I picked them to be upset by somebody.
I did too.
But they're just a weird team, and they're good. I'll give them the credit. So I think they'll come out of there. I would take Michigan, but with Isaiah Livers out, arguably their best player.
That's why I didn't pick them.
Don't. Colorado was looking scary good. Shout out my boy Ian Thornberry. He's going to Colorado next year.
Okay.
I'm hoping to go out there and visit a lot and ski.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So I'll take Colorado there. Of course, I want to go with Oral. I think
that's what
it would be so funny.
We can pick them as a wild card.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They'll be my wild card.
But just after... Because Wisconsin is not a bad team.
No.
But Baylor made us look silly.
Yep.
So I feel like
we didn't help ourselves, to be fair. We definitely didn't help ourselves with our turnovers and our missed layups. But I'll agree that they completely outplayed us.
If we wouldn't have turned the ball over, like if we would have kept it to how we normally do, it would have been a tie game.
I just realized if we both pick Baylor, we're both voting for Mullet Man.
All right, I'm going with Arkansas here.
Yep, that's what I did. I went Arkansas, didn't I? I think you did.
I just don't think anybody else can. Like Arkansas is probably the only team that can beat Baylor.
Nova's decent,
but I just don't.
Nova's got a good history.
I think their point guard's out.
Oh, maybe.
So I'm going to go Oral here. Okay. I'm going Gonzaga, Colorado, Oral, and Loyola.
Yep. That's fair.
I'm hoping Houston doesn't come out of there.
No, I don't want them to either.
All my brackets with my roommates are just... I'm in last place.
Yeah, it's tough. Too hot.
It's tough out there.
This has been the hardest year ever. I mean, no one would have expected Oral Roberts to get to the Sweet 16.
This is a crazy stat, too. We had... Obviously, there's 16 seeds. Like, that's how many teams. And 1 through 15 all won at least one game. 16 was the only seed that didn't win a game.
Which is disappointing.
That's wild. We had a 15, we had a 14, we had a 13. I mean...
That's wild.
I just don't even know. Who do you think is going to end up being the winner?
I'm going to go with Loyola. I think their style of play is fantastic. I think they've got 2 really good big men. And I think they got Sister Jean. Can't bet against God. I'm going to say it's
that is
Loyola.
A fact.
Loyola versus, I'm going to go with Bama. Loyola, Bama, and I'm going to go Loyola.
I'm going to go Gonzaga, Loyola. Gonzaga winning it.
Okay, that's fair.
We got an 80-inch projector.
Oh yeah,
up in the basement.
March Madness is going crazy.
We'll post a video of it somewhere.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I was so happy. I've always wanted to get a huge projector. Starting to think I should have gone with the 100-inch. Size. So.
Size doesn't matter.
The bigger, the better. Obviously,
I disagree.
Especially when it comes to
don't come at me like that.
Oral Roberts.
Hey, don't come at me like that. Size doesn't matter.
Pulled the fast one on me. But yeah, we got the 80-inch projector down in the basement. Got the dartboard.
It's
trying to
like
get a pool
man
table.
Cave.
It's really coming.
Cave.
Got some good vibes down here. It's beautiful. It's really coming. It's really coming along. Some March Madness, man.
Been crazy.
What are the 2 things we love?
Oral Roberts.
Well, March.
Oh, March.
And
Oral Roberts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a little. I was a little quick to take the oral.
So we're all in with Sister Jean. Hopefully she can. Yeah, he was a little too excited, a little premature.
Hey,
on the oral.
Can't go against
Oral's
God.
Playing some good defense.
Oh yeah,
posting them up, backing them down, forcing their way to the rim. I think that'll do it, folks.
Have a good day and thanks for tuning in.
Next week we'll get on to the NFL stuff.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. Hopefully there'll be more though.